GDoC 2020, baby. We have the beats. And now we're going to get into some more beats. If you are playing a game, having a killer soundtrack in it does something for you, right? It makes the game feel a lot more special. I mean, I still listen to Donkey Kong Country tracks left and right because Fear Factory is that hot fire. So now you're probably wondering, I'm a music composer. How do I get my sound to the ears of developers? Well, our next speaker is going to tell you exactly how you can make sure that your music portfolio pops. Calbert Warner is a New York City-based audio architect with a passion for creating video game music. He has a signature blend of orchestra and electronic elements, and when he's not composing, he is capturing life in the streets of New York City with his Sony A7. Eyes, ears, and all the love for Calbert Warner.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, I'm Calbert Warner, and I am going to give you the cheat codes on how to build your portfolio to get into the ears of developers and just to expand your marketing tactics if you're a sound designer or a composer in the space. But quick introduction on me. Again, I'm Calbert Warner. I am a composer. I am a co-founder of a tech startup called Jump Button Studio, where we make apps, games, and animations for clients. I also have a podcast called Pixel Buzz, and I'm a huge anime and retro gaming enthusiast. With that being said, let's get right into this topic. I only have 10 minutes, and I want to make it count. So carving out a niche in video game music. It is a very competitive space. Honestly, there are more people doing it than ever before, but the good news is there are also a lot more projects being done as well. So luckily, everybody needs music, for whether it be for app developers or gamers. The situation is up for yours to grab. However, because there are more people doing it, you have to break through the noise. And to do so, we're going to talk about a very important topic that can help you do this. We're going to talk about SOAP. So why is SOAP important? SOAP is something that's kind of funny because it kind of plagues the geeky, nerdy fandom, right? You usually hear people say, do these guys even use SOAP? Do they use SOAP? These guys don't even use SOAP. So we're going to put a positive spin on that. Today, we're going to use SOAP, and we're going to use a lot of it. So SOAP is an acronym that I made up, kind of a fun one. It stands for Solidifying Your Online Appearance and Presence. Your appearance and presence is going to be the key factor for landing any type of gig as a sound designer or composer. So we're going to start with appearance first and why this matters. They always say that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But the problem is we judge, we're humans. It's just one of those tactics that we use. It's a shortcut. We don't like to work very hard. We want to make things easy. So the way you come across, even on digital platforms, it matters because people are going to make snap judgments about the way you are. So now what you want to do as a counterbalance to that is to be very aggressive in your online persona. Your appearance has to be everything. It's going to have to make a very valid and strong digital footprint to make people not question what you do. So in order to do that, we got to talk about your brand consistency. We got to talk about your logo. You need to have a visually appetizing logo. It has to be memorable. It has to be unique. It has to represent what you do and what your service is. I would highly recommend you get someone who is in tune with illustration or graphic design. Do not go into Google Paint and try to make your own logo if you don't know how to draw. This is going to be the first window into your personality, into your business, that has to be solid. No gaps have to happen here. Then after that logo is done, you can move on to your website, which is literally going to be your digital house. This is going to be where you live. This is where you can talk about your experience, your skill set. You can brag here. Be a little egoistic. Just talk about it. What did you do? What's your story like? This website is going to be the landing page for all your potential partners and your clients. Now, the next step, identity. We need a strong bio. Expose your truth. Who are you and what do you do? Why should people care? Why are people coming to you? What is your value? What is your service? You've got to think in these terms because your appearance is going to be everything. Once you've got your appearance down, we can talk about presence. Your presence has to be done with social media visibility. If you are not on these three platforms, you are making a huge mistake. You are cutting down your chances of being seen at least 30 to 40%. Twitter is the cocktail party of the internet. Instagram as well. You just need to have conversations on Twitter. People who are open here, usually, no matter what their skill level is, they just want to talk. They don't necessarily want to always share their projects, but they just want to have open conversation about what they're working on or what they want to work on or what they're struggling with. This is a great way to organically integrate yourself into the conversation. Instagram, you can put up your bits and pieces of projects you're working on, either in doses of little clips or mini shorts. Great way to get some feedback immediately. I think the more conversation is happening on Twitter than Instagram, but it's still a good place to be, especially if you use the tailored hashtags, which I will get into at the end of this talk. YouTube, again, really, really good, but it has changed over the years. I think YouTube is becoming more sociable. It's becoming more interactive. You should make content here around game audio that is about you and your audience, right? Make tutorials, make those kind of engaging videos where it could be a back and forth. I wouldn't say just put work out to be consumed, but try and make it interactive. Make a web series, something relating to audio in that space where you can still have a really, really good time with your potential fans. Next is your portfolio. You want to design and build every project here with love and dedication. This is going to be the main bread and butter going forward. And now that your appearance is basically being founded, you need to have really good work. When your work is really strong, you want to put it in the right places. SoundCloud, Tumblr, Bandcamp. SoundCloud is great for being stumbled upon. People can find you here by accident. People can share your work way easier. Tumblr is very similar to Twitter in the sense that it's a very text-based platform with some images as well. You can also put your music here and use the right appropriate tailored hashtags to get more traction. Bandcamp is also a really good way to build some credibility. Also a good way to build revenue. You can put up your projects, samples, and anything of that nature, and people will donate if you so choose, or you can set your own hard prices. Great way to build passive revenue as a sound designer or composer. Now moving on, you got to decide on what your niche is. Do you like mobile apps, games? What kind of games? Are you into puzzles, platformers, or racers? Once you decide on what you want to do, the last step you're going to notice is going to be fantastic. Your competition is going to completely dissolve. There are going to be people here that are going to be doing the same thing, but when you decide on that niche, when you pick your own lane, and you're following through on this lane, you're going to notice there are going to be very, very few people doing similar things. So your competition might even turn into your peer group, which I think is fantastic, right? Now let's talk about strategy here. You want to stock your inventory. If you're looking for work and you're looking for really, really good gigs or like professional, either for paid or non-paid, you want to use TigSource, Touch Arcade, or Newgrounds.com. If you just want to boost your production value, boost your production skills and arrangement, OC Remix is a great place to do that. Now, the most important part of this talk are the game music hashtags. Whether you're using Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, you're going to want to use game dev, indie dev, game audio, game music, and Screenshot Saturday. Screenshot Saturday is probably the best one, especially for Twitter. On every Saturday, every single Saturday, Screenshot Saturday is the hashtag that is trending because game developers on all different levels are showing off their projects in different stages of ripeness. 9 times out of 10, I guarantee that there are some people here who don't even know that they even need audio or music. If you approach them in a very direct way, say, hey, your project reminds me of Final Fantasy. It reminds me of Chrono Trigger. It reminds me of Crash Bandicoot. You offer to write the music for free as a sample. They're not used to getting messages like that. This is going to differentiate you from everybody else. I know it's a lot of information here, but you can hit me up on any one of these platforms. I am at Schematis on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Hit me up anytime. I love game audio. Again, thanks for having me, and thanks for tuning into this talk. Stay safe and mask up, you guys. Cheers.
As soon as you mentioned OC Remix, you brought back the feels, my man. Ooh. Oh, man. So you're absolutely right. I mean, I think a lot of people are super talented, but they don't think about the business side that goes along with all of this, having a strong brand, making sure that who you are and what you do is very clear because, I mean, you can have all the talent and you can have like all the skills in the world, but if you're not, accurately like putting yourself out there and making sure that people know exactly who you are and where to find you, you're not going to make it. So much appreciated for making people understand that business is just as important as having the skills and the talents. Thank you very much, Calbert. Oh, okay. If you enjoyed what you saw, and I know you did because I did, make sure that you comment, make sure that you share, make sure that you like, and make sure that you keep it locked in because we got much more where this came from.